Greetings, greetings, beautiful people. Always just such a good reminder that I'm alive. Sometimes I wonder where I am living. Thank you for being here. I don't know if the live stream would work for you, if you could tap in on, that was kind of my half intention for today. But no minds, because then we could like live chat to each other. But, oh, Yolanda, thank you so much. And to everybody else, especially in the chat, extra, extra special love. We all need extra special love today. And beautiful Josh, thank you for all the special love you give and the special love. I hope you are open to receiving. It's so much easier for some of us to give than to receive. Yeah. So, yeah. I called this the birthing. We were talking about birthing. Let's, I'm not just in your brain cells, because you've got more than one brain cell. I only have one. Just think about that word Berthing and Birthing. What do you call them? What are words that sound the same? Anyway, but have different meanings. Lots of them. It's not a pun, something else. Come on, where are English students? Where's Care Bear? She would tell me in a second. Okay. Hi, Millie. Beautiful, beautiful Millie. Wow. Oh, Yolanda, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do need that at the moment. I'm fine. It's just sometimes when one makes new commitments and we once going. So I'm really so grateful for that, Yolanda, and that's what it's about. I'm so glad that I have been a help and opened up your portals of knowledge and wisdom and care and whatever else I gave you. I'm not sure. Sometimes we give and we don't know. But thank you so much for that acknowledgement. Homophones, Dale, the boy from South Africa, the sunny boy from Sunny. Thank you. They're your homophones. Such weird words in English. My best word is oxymoron. Anyway, let us rub our hands to get some beautiful energy going. So much energy around. So much energy. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but always there. I think it's a matter of tuning in and just being open to receiving it. So our beautiful magic tea tree, a new earth, new tree of life oil. I was just listening to something where somebody was saying how special somebody should feel, because she says she's had so much healing in forests, in woods, with the trees, with her painful life. And he said he would be a disservice if he didn't mention it to her, that trees really acknowledge they are the regal beings of our earth, and indeed they are. They are immensely big. And they do just stand there for many, many ages. And to be blessed by the trees is also to acknowledge your own kingship or queenship. I thought that was really lovely. Sometimes we just think we're a little bit of a crazy fairy folk when we talk to the trees and they talk back to you, then it's even more crazy. But yeah, so to be blessed by the trees and to be acknowledged by them is really special. So let us open this incredible third eye and just rub it very gently here and see beautiful gold. Remember, we're anointing ourselves. I hope you've got your oil And if you don't, just do it with me. You've got enough oil in your fingertips anyway. It actually feels quite beautiful today. It's like a little sun sparkling and radiating. Our throat chakra that does so much hard work. You have no idea how much work the throat chakra does. And this is very an extra thought for Kebe, for Karen, who's been battling with her throat chakra, but heroed through and was live today, which unfortunately I've just missed. But that's all okay. And remember, as we're doing our throat chakra, remember to really be going back to some of those beat sounds that you were saying, those primal sounds that you were saying. Just walk around your house like a Neanderthal or caveman, which I don't think really existed. I think that's going to be one of the biggest BSs that we've been told. To some point, yeah, but not to the way we've been told. But make some of it, but feel it, yeah. What was that? Oh, no, I'll share this. And then our beautiful heart chakra, which radiates all 96,000 nadis out to the world, but you can just imagine the 12 above and below, and we're in the center. So as above, so below, our heart chakra just radiating gold, 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 gold. However you see it, in rivers, in liquid, in streams, in sparkles, in dots. I hope that you do see it. Our temples, our crown chakra, and visualize a little golden ball above it, ready to receive. It's like a golden ball. It can just crack open. And inside and behind our ears, so that we hear. More importantly, that we listen. Anna, hello Anna, welcome. We've just done our anointing of our holy temple, and Hini, bless you, love you, Hini. Hini knows exactly where she's going. I love it. She does. She's just let it go, and then you know exactly where you're going. And let's light some smoke. Millie, thank you for doing that for the group. We're really like getting up in such holy smoke here, because we light it here for the group and for everybody and for the temples. And Millie was lighting smoke during Victor's for clearing and cleansing. And we just like looking after each other so much. And Lindsay, I was smelling some beautiful scents when you said all those beautiful smells that you were burning. So we bless the smoke to heal our temples, the sacred temples of the world, the sacred ley lines. May they be safe and protected by Angel Gabriel and by the Angel Michael, and by our energy and our love and the awakening of these sacred sites and temples, as well as the awakening of the new children that are being born on the earth right now. So just kind of put this around you. If you're standing, you can do it. You can do it all the way around your house and sing your little fairy songs and your little blessings. Here we go. Victor, greetings. Bless you. Thank you so much for popping by. I really, really am very honored and blessed. I'm feeling to turn my magical ball around. I would show it to you, but you won't really see it. I suppose if I got into scrying, I would really be able to do a lot with it. Oh, where's my magical stick? So let's deal with our past traumas, our traumas from our base that were particularly brought in during our birth process. So much is brought in during our birth process. and obviously our time in our mother's womb. I don't know where they even come around with thinking that we need artificial wombs, because the part of that, there's huge love that is transmitted in the mother's voice, and all sorts of amazing things, and proper nutrients and care in the mother's womb. But a lot of trauma. There's always trauma for almost everybody during the birth process. So we'll just allow that to just vibrate, and through that vibration, just loosen up the stuck energy on those chakras, so that it's easy to transmute it, like when you're bathing or walking or running or exercising or eating. Hello, beautiful Grace. Thank you so much. Yes, I also had a sweet little walk. I'm so glad you're walking. Did you kiss a tree or speak to a tree? We must share our walks. They're really beautiful. Yeah. So many of us, we just keep all of these amazing things to ourselves, which is great. Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. It's this beautiful, deep meditation. But sometimes it is also very sweet to share some of our magical stories with others that we have on our walks. Okay. So let's clear some of this past trauma that we were born with. We're definitely not moving any of this over into this new earth. We've got a couple of years to play with this, but let's pretend we don't. Yes. Wish she was good today, I take it, yes. She is doing really quite fine. So just visualize your base chakra. It's beautiful red, like a big lotus. It has 4 petals, and slowly it's opening. And okay, I'm going to have to take that off because I'm here every day. So I just open that chakra and let it spin. Usually anti-clockwise when it gets rid of stuff. Yeah, but they do spin both ways. Releasing that into the earth. She makes beautiful compost out of it, out of all these things. Yeah? So next time you go for a walk, you can just visualize that you're just getting rid of some of this energy that's attached, that's now being loosened. Yeah, moving into our heart chakra, especially from our birthing time. There's always a little bit of pain, not always, but most of the time, especially in the West. We weren't loved enough by our parents, especially if you're older. We were told that children were too needy and manipulative, that babies were needy and manipulative, and it was a lot of cry. The babies must cry themselves to sleep, and they mustn't do demand feeding. You had to feed. So it didn't matter how much the baby was hungry or cried in between. And obviously separation anxiety from the mother. So some people, and those are the normal things, the so-called normal problems that we have. Some people had even much sadder initiations onto this planet, but we are just going with the normal stuff. So anything that's still attached to the heart, we just bring in this vibration of grace and love and healing and immense compassion from the beautiful Holy Mother. And just surrender to her. And rub your heart and love it. Yeah, love it hard. You can do it quite fast, not too fast, but just really love it. Yeah. So just opening that beautiful 6 petal of this golden green glow. I like to always see a lotus within it with a beautiful white pearl inside. It's this very sacred little space. So let go of all the pain, even those that you don't know. Just Visualize it just crumbling like dust. They are absolutely, each one are very malleable. Rudolf Steiner likened the first 7 years to a bag of flour. So whatever you did, if you just pressed it, it would make, if you've ever had not a packet of flour, a bag of flour, or flour in a pile on your table, whatever you do, you just press it and put a fingerprint, all of these things. So it's very, very thank you, Grace. Yes, I'm working beautifully with ChatGPT, and me are beginning to play nicely again. It's about wording it properly and having an interesting relationship with her again. So I'm very pleased to report she wasn't playing nice with me for a week. I was feeling rather rejected and dejected, but hey, it is what it is. And then our mental, beautiful, these are the thoughts that we think about ourselves, as a child, or from the birthing process. I don't know what thoughts one has when you're a baby. You just see. I don't think you think. The aura is very strange. It's like you just don't touch, guys. that was my when I had my son. It's like, no, it's very rainbowy and very not there. Okay, so these are the mental things that our beautiful parents or caregivers, through most of the time not thoughtfully. Often people are thoughtfully, and there is unfortunately this dreadful thing called conscious unkindness or thoughtful unkindness, which just was a word I put to some things a few years ago, which was like, how can people be so thoughtfully unkind? But people through maliciousness and jealousy, and these are the things that we pick up very early in our life. So I think it's nuts. I do know. It starts around about 3. 3 is when we say we are the sun, and all children draw a picture of the sun with a dot in it around about 3 years old, all over the world. Every child. We can say all over the world. Every child. Stein stuff. I'm forgetting my drawings. And that is when the I and will start to say me. They start to acknowledge me, and then they start to reasoning only starts after 7. But you can seriously impregnate your child with thought forms and things. But mine, and I'm sure almost all of us have it, was I used to make a lot of strange noises. I did a lot of scribble writing as well, and I was always told to keep quiet. So, and it just compounds over the years. So, So we're going. Obviously, the things that we pick up later on in life, between after the age of 7, which affect us even more, and these are for our brain, that create the monkey mind, and I'm not good enough, and we compare each other, or our parents say, why can't you be like them, or they're so good and you're not behaving, and what's behaving, and all those silly things that our parents or our aunties or our sisters or the children at nursery school. I used to say, your kids are fine until you just let them out to school. My daughter had the older kids at nursery school criticized her drawings. She drew like Picasso when she was 4. It was incredible, the detailed faces and things that she was drawing at 4. And then she went to nursery school. I went to work, and she went to nursery school, and she didn't pick up a pencil again until she was about 12, when she went to the Waldorf school, because the kids laughed at her drawings because they were actually jealous. Yeah. So So yeah, those things, sometimes they don't affect your children, but sometimes they do. Depends, I'm sure, on their birth sign and whatever else they're born with. So let's just open up these negative thought forms, loosen them so that they're easy to remove. It's like putting solvent on them. So Josh, your work will be easier tomorrow. Maybe Josh will be led to be kindly work on some of these areas as well, just for us to drop some of the stuff quickly. Yeah, and put a protective sheet on top. So negative monkey mind, all those little thought forms, sonic vibrations, loosen. We won't push it. We do it every day. I don't repeat it, even though it, yeah. So I just want to read the chat here. His conditioning in society is real. Yeah. Society, oi, 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 oi. So you can do it, just get your kids out there for one day and they're all the hard work you did. So today, I didn't plan this. We're actually in the middle of Navratri. Navratri is 4 times a year. It's not the one that they usually celebrate. There was one in January, so it's 4 times a year. I'm not sure which is the one which everybody usually celebrates. It's Diwali, so that's August or September. Okay, and I will put after this. I've actually been having some huge insights on the aspects of the 9 goddess. So it's just very briefly the aspects of Durga, who is one of the most powerful goddesses. But it's not easy to get our mind around all of this. Maybe some people get it easier than I do. The Hindu gods and goddesses and the aspects. So it's like deep sea diving, trying to find stuff in murky waters and see what it's actually for me. But they are just incarnations of Durga, which were brought along in different ages. But I will talk about it in a different. I just want to really work with the mother goddess today. Who is? She's the 5th in their 9 days. So there's 9 aspects of Goddess Durga which we celebrate, and when we did it before, it actually goes from maiden all the way to crone, and then to the High Blessed Mother. Yeah, so it takes also the ages of women. There's so much in these, and yeah, well, we'll see what else I do with them. There's a lot, but it's the 5th form of Goddess Durga in her Navratri manifestation, and is worshipped on the 5th day of Navaratri festival. Her name, Skandamata, translates to Mother of Skanda. It's interesting, she's about the only one that just has a name like that. Most of the others really mean something which make her personality a little fuller. And she is the warrior god who is the son of Shiva and Parvati. As a mother figure, Skandamata represents nurturing, protection, and divine motherhood, symbolizing the loving, caring aspect of the divine feminine. Skandamata is depicted as a serene and radiant goddess, seated on a lotus or a lion, with her son, Kartikeya, seated on her lap or beside her. She holds her son affectionately, symbolizing her role as the protector and nurturer of all beings. Kartikeya is often shown holding a spear ready for battle, symbolizing the triumph of good over evil or the protection of her young. In her other hand, Skandamata typically holds a lotus flower. She's got 4 arms, so I'll just like paraphrase this. She holds her child, she puts her hand up like this, which is actually dispelling fear. I just love this as a mother, and this is just what we need our mother to do, is push fear away. And then her other 2 arms, she holds lotuses, which symbolize purity and spiritual awakening. Sometimes she has the sword, which represents her power to protect and destroy evil. Her divine aura is radiant, and she is usually depicted in a simple yet regal attire, often adorned with a gold jewelry and a crown symbolizing her heavenly nature. Her complexion is often shown as radiant and golden, and her eyes reflect deep compassion, radiating love and divine energy. Her nurturing qualities are emphasized by her maternal expression, showing her as a loving and caring mother who is ready to provide and protect her children's well-being. Skandamata represents divine motherhood, protection, and the power of nurturing energy. She is invoked to seek the blessings of peace, prosperity, and health, as well as the strength to overcome challenges. Devotees worship Skandamata to seek her protection, love, and to enhance their spiritual growth. Her presence is believed to invoke blessings of harmony in family life for the well-being of her children, which is just what we need. I had a friend once who said, because I was such a silly, we don't know, really. I don't think we know, very few of us know as mothers. And I think we all go through times when we don't feel that we're doing the right thing, especially when things are stressful or you're scared. But my mother would, they'll hurt you through your children. Yeah, they do that indeed. It's a very, very, very sad but very wise words. And she was my beautiful Scorpio astrologer, magic queen. And she said it doesn't matter really how, well, I mean, obviously it matters how you bring up your children or whether you're successful or not. But what they need to see, what is more strong for them, is that you fight for them. Is you fight and you not fight, but that you challenge life and you move forward, or that you protect them, even if you can't, but that you're there to protect them. Your life is weird. It's like love, you know? Yeah. But I love the fact that she's got this like protecting from evil, and then the purity above her. And it's just so beautiful that children see their parents just as perfect goddesses and goddesses. I don't know when it stops, but I was very lucky to have my children see me as a beautiful goddess for a long time. Then, so try to think back of your birth process. If you know, it's so weird. I think people my age, we didn't, unless our parents really told us, those were things that you didn't talk about, you know. I know I asked my mother quite late in life. It never really occurred to me to ask her. And because whatever it is, if you're lucky enough to have your mother still alive, try and ask them, or ask your aunt. Also, what was your naming process? Because these are all huge things, and you see where the angels are so divinely involved, or how this plays a pattern in your life. Mine's really sad. I was born on a Good Friday. In those days, it was really, a lot of women went to a convent, not a convent, but they were to birthing hospitals, or centers, or whatever you want to call them, that were run by nuns, Catholic nuns. And it was my mother said she had a really, really terrible time for a very long time. it was so terrible she didn't want to talk about it. And she had a really nice room booked upstairs outside, and it was to look outside, and over there it was Easter time and getting into autumn, and we have these incredible serious thunderstorms, so it was a really heavy thunderstorm. And then one of the mothers had lost her baby, so my mother, with her beautiful kind heart, swapped her bed in her beautiful ward with this lady so she could at least have the sunshine, and took me down to the dungeon. So I'm sure that has some aspect in my life. But so think about yours, think about your children's, whether you did the drugs, whether you did the water birth. Yeah, please do. Yeah, and just take a little meditation, because there's such a huge healing. And if we don't go back to the root, don't dwell on it too much, yeah? But if we don't go back to the root, and you can go into it in meditation, obviously it's much easier if you've got somebody that will tell you what it was about, yeah? And it's so weird, we don't seem to ask our parents this. You know? We talk amongst women about it. But we don't ask our parents, which is actually the ones to ask. It's also, I mean, birthing is so completely different in the Eastern cultures, and I pull in bits and pieces from everywhere with my children. Like, I know that the Greeks and the Hindus, they don't go out. And the Chinese, they're so blessed. They don't go out for 40 days. And the mother, they don't cook, they don't bath, they don't do anything. The mother-in-law, or they have special people coming. It's paid for by the state. That will come and cook and clean and look after the baby, because your most important thing is recuperating and being strong. I tried not to, definitely for 10 days. Here in Germany, it's also, I know it's like with the Russians, like they're horrified if you want to see their baby before 10 days. They don't, only family, only very, very near family. It's not just someone to come and see the baby. I hardly moved out. I just had a rose quartz lamp and lots of jasmine flowers around me when my son was born, and I hardly went out for 30 days. I mean, obviously I had to sometimes, but I did hardly go out. It was just my space of loving and nurturing. And just something, so this is where you can maybe try to heal your own birthing process somehow. Most births don't go the way that we planned them. Either you have to have a cesarean, or you get your birthing pains in different areas that you didn't think of, whatever. I had to have, it wasn't quite an emergency, but at the last couple of days he turned around, so I had to book a cesarean, because there was no ways he was going to come out the feet first. And I prepared a water birth with beautiful music and beautiful oils, and it was already unpacked. So plans change at the last minute. A lot of women get into huge depression, postpartum blues, because things don't go the way that they're supposed to go. So just try to re-heal yourself, or heal your friends or your sisters or whatever, and recreate that perfect birthing. Maybe put them in bathing in warm water with oils, with candles. Anoint your head under the water. I did a lot of bathing. The Saturn baby. I did a lot of bathing with Alex, and with the oils, and did a lot of beautiful oil rubs and baby massage and beautiful music. He listened to 2 pieces of music, was the first music he listened to. One was, I don't know which order they were in. One was Pachelbel, because I said that if you listen to Pachelbel, it's the most beautiful balancing music that I've ever heard. It's cello, so maybe you want to, or I'll put it up on my community page. And the other one was Jimi Hendrix, Little Wing. So I'm not sure which piece of music he heard first, but they were both, yeah. Huh. Oh, that is so beautiful, Grace. That is so healing. Absolutely healing. We don't, and we've missed it out so much, this side of the world, yeah. Many of you that still have small children, and we didn't know. Hey? I mean, we have to just like make it up. I mean, I was really lucky that I was in the Rudolf Steiner thing, and we will. The universe will make us go through trauma as a rite of passage as a teenager. We don't need to go through all this heavy teenage stuff if we've been given a rite of passage. And they must include, especially for boys, they must include fear and nurturing for the girls. I did a beautiful one, but before I left, because I went to America, my daughter stayed in South Africa for a while. She wanted to finish her year before she came over. And I took her for a walk. And I said, I'm going to tell you about my life. I said, I'm not very proud of all the things that I've done, but I want you to hear it from me before you hear it some twisted way from the family. You know, people make up beautiful stories about you. And we took a long walk, and she got quieter and quieter. She thought it was good fun. Of course it was fun. And got quieter and quieter and quieter. And I said, no, I'm not very proud of it, the stuff, but it is what it is. Or she just said, my poor mommy, my mommy. And I said to her, if there are any questions, you can ask me about them now. But other than that, I don't really want to discuss it again. Yeah. And then I said, no, there's a lie. Afterwards, I thought, no, I told you a lie. You see, even in that, you lie. And I said, no, I didn't have a miscarriage. I had an abortion. So it was between her and her brother. So that was completely cleared. And then we made her a beautiful, beautiful bath with like a rainbow. I used aromatherapy oils. And her brother, my son, came in and he looked into the bath. It was so beautiful. We lit candles and put her into the bath, and I washed her back and washed her hair. It was really, really beautiful. I can't remember what we ate. It must have been something really nice. But he was just so tuned in. He walked in, he said, oh, wow, look at all the rainbows. So, yeah, you know, the kids can see it. He was also he wasn't that young. He was 9 or 10. And then we did a really beautiful ceremony when she came to America, and then she was 15. And I invited the women that I knew and the young girls too. But I knew there must be no boys, even baby boys. That I think is in the Navajo and a lot of also the African tribes. They're very big on these. I mean, we're not talking about the heavy like initiations that the girls and the boys have. Just like it's a little rite of passage where you get told about certain things and you cut things. And everybody brought something that had been very beautiful and powerful for them at that time in their life, in their teenagehood, and what had got them through. It was interesting. She was given the autobiography of a yogi by somebody. She was given like really like flashy, cheesy underwear, like really sexy G-strings from somebody else. She was actually from Sweden, so yeah, so it was interesting. I gave her my Hendrix book, my music. Her friend bought a whole little box full of like little charms and treasures. It was so, so beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful. I did one day, maybe I'll find it. I wrote about it. So I wrote a book about it. And what was just so interesting was, and then of course we did the talking feather and shared. And it was so interesting because we were sitting opposite each other in the circle on the floor. And we leaned over to touch each other. And no matter how hard we leaned over, we just couldn't touch. So it was like such a letting go, yeah? So these are, Oh, 19 is beautiful. And it is, do that. I mean, sometimes these things don't work. I wrote my father a letter when I came back from South Africa telling him I'd forgiven him for all sorts of crap. Not like just he was German and German, but one day maybe, but it's like, and he was like, I drew this beautiful picture on it. Maybe you can write to her, Yolanda. And if you don't, just write it anyway. Yeah. These things matter so much. You know? Alex's father didn't see his parents for 5 or 6 years or something. And he always thought that his father was so judgmental on him. But his father had kept every single, he opened like a whole lot of clubs in Cape Town. And his father had collected, he'd made a whole scrapbook of all the articles about that venue. And when he saw his father later, he was just so touched because he didn't, he didn't think that he mattered to, we come up with these funny things in our head because we don't communicate. As Axl Rhodes says, what we have is a failure to communicate. Yeah. Josh, that's so interesting. And that's okay. That's okay. Look I call you Papa Josh. I didn't know that. I just called you because you are Papa Josh, for me. You definitely our Papa. Yeah, that's so beautiful, Grace. Yeah. Yeah. They do that. I had Indian neighbors. People be so complicated. Her mother was Hindu, her father was Muslim, and she was married to an Anglican, a white Anglican schoolboy from England. It's complicated stuff. But she had these births, and her brother would come every day after work, and they massage the baby. The Indians, they do this incredible oil, and he would always come after work to do bath and massage. There's such beauty that they do automatically. We now charge a fortune or have to go on a workshop to learn to do baby massage. I remember teaching Alexander to rub oil into the potatoes, having roast potatoes. And she said, just like you're massaging a baby, you rub the oil into the potatoes. You have to just meditate and make it up for yourself, Yolanda. Just do a cleansing, do the egg ceremony if you want. And just trust what comes up for you and just let it go. Make yourself a beautiful bath where you're going to be in. Just think what kind of birth you would like. That's why there's all this anointing and baptism, because it's new birth. And we definitely, guys, we beautiful people. We are so right in it right now at the moment. But Josh, you too, do the shower, or do if you have a bath, do a bath. Go for a swim in the sea, but make it sacred, from the moment, like we talk about in Feng Shui, make it sacred from the moment that you do that intention, and you can start to read the signs from outside, what's happening, what birds are you seeing, what trees are you seeing, if you're going on a journey, are there alarm signals going off, did a little bird sit and pop in by the window, because you made this place sacred. And the old cultures, and the Eastern cultures and the Russians, they take all of these little things of importance. They say to us about stuff. It's just also really interesting with the Hindus that they name their child according to when they were born, with the moon and which goddess and which aspect was in. There's no just random naming, because they're taking on the aspect of that goddess or god. I wish I could ask my mom a lot of things too. We always wish, and I think almost, well, not everyone, but I think lots. I'm very grateful that I took the time to talk with my father a lot when I was a teenager. I just double Aries. Ask crazy questions. lessons for many in my family are. Oh, we've got heavy because it's the last lifetime for many of us, yeah, and we are holding a lot for our family, yeah. Mine is what mine is so it's fucking intense. These last 5 years, I thought it was tough before. Anything that my daughter, then she was 13, 14, 15, 16 when we came back to 15 when we came back to South Africa. And there were like some interesting, crazy times, teenage times. And she would just tell her friends, she never discussed my life with them, but she would just say whatever problems they were going through, you know, girls talked with each other. And she was like really the shoulder people crowd upon. And she would say, go and talk to my mother. So yes, thank you, Dale. I was definitely Auntie Crystal. So yeah. You can bury it. No. Just reading something here. How am I supposed to put these? Yeah, to never say never. No, never say never. Another interesting thing I say, Karen, is this is what I believe at the moment. Because it just makes me free and it cuts all the crap that you're going to have arguments with people over if they're judgmental about what you're thinking about. But it leaves me free to open because some things are just too much for us to cope with right now, you know? And just to say that this is what I believe at the moment. And it can change. But for now, this is what I believe. Ah, that's helpful. No, but never say never. Never say never. Yeah. That's beautiful. You can make a beautiful scrapbook if you want to, yeah. I started, they're not here, but it was the old photograph albums, but then they sit in photograph albums. So with my blind eyes, I did a lot of decoupage. I started to do decoupage because you can work with your hands, yeah. And shabby chic stuff because as many scratches as you have, it's fine. So it was all cool. And then I started to make trays with the photographs of my mother and like little sayings in between them so that they would be used. Yeah, I'm using a tray to bring the tea on, and there's my mom on the tray. So it's just a slightly different idea to think about. And I decided to be really brave and use the original photographs and not copies. And then you put a resin on top. Or you can make coasters. You know, there's just little ideas that we. But at the same time, I had a picture of my mother and my father, which was my favorite picture, and it was all my mother never said anything about it until just fairly recently when she said, I remember that picture. That was the most terrible. We'd had such a fight. It was such a terrible day. And I was, oh, what the fuck? And she never said anything, yes, but she had that thought every time she saw that picture. I never saw it in the photograph. Our families come in all sorts of forms, but we have to sometimes make, and even if you've got to draw caricatures of your family or the family that you wanted, all these, well, what would be half of 7 billion, 3.5 billion families out there, minimum, that we can put a sweeping statement around the world. But we're not taught to be families. Jewish people are kind of taught to be families, which is so interesting, which was so much why a lot of the white Western world are so anti-Semitic because of the bond that they have together. Greeks, I think, are also very family and child-oriented. African people, every child is their child. There's no like difference. They're losing a lot, but but no, they must get it back. The Indians, the Navajo people, the down south, they know how to be family, yeah. Just something really and they know what to do, yeah. Interesting, like with the Bushmen, which is not there's a derogatory term now, but I'm saying it so you know what I'm talking about. The San people that live in the desert, in the Kalahari Desert in South Africa. Oh, how many tribes did the South Africans annihilate? They extinct the thing. Never mind the animals. They extincted them. Anyway, so there are some tribes left that are dying, but yeah. And because of the struggles that they have in the desert, that they don't always get food, sometimes they will give birth and then the mother they will leave the baby. I'm not sure if they just leave. I don't think they just leave it to fend for themselves. But there's no questions asked. She just knows that this is the right thing to do for the betterment and the survival of the group, of the tribe, because another mouth to feed during this particular winter or summer would not be good. So memorabilia, it's great. Very much. The ancestors, are so alive and well and working with dragons. And thank you, Karen. You told me on my birthday to actually tune into Gabriel. And but it's really, if you can just spend some time and rebirth yourself and nurture yourself and be kind to yourself, because we have also missed out on. Thank you, Dale, Auntie Bristol. At least you don't call me Tanny. Hey, Tanny. And even if you did have a good birth, have another one. Why not? You can have one every day, every time you jump in the water. Which you should do, just let all that stuff come off. But make a really, really special one. And it is, if you have peace in your heart, you can handle life a little better. Absolute. Oh, Grace, thank you. I want to cry. People can't handle the light in people. It scares them. I just tell them I love them and let them go. Yeah. We've all been on that. Oh, you're going to have me crying, Grace. I'm going to go and do that, read it over 5 or 6 times so I can really have a weepy party. Thank you. I needed the tears. I've been wanting, not that they've been there. I'm saying, Mother, I need tears. And just to surrender to the Mother. She is within us all the time, We leave her, or not even leave her, we don't know her. Give yourselves a lot of compassion this side of the world. And what we do in the West to our old people is not nice. I don't know how people sleep at night. Angela, you're never late. You're in time for the replay and in time for some pictures. Yeah. Our offspring will lead us right there. But you have to also, Helena, having children is usually really very special because you can heal with them. But obviously, the Kaizen, are awesome. Always laughing. You know what? Then they're always laughing. They're always smiling, and they never shout at their children. There was like, why they're like this is because there's sand and there's no stones. But no, they don't shout at their children. They're just brought up on absolute love, which is what we should be doing. There's so much screaming and shouting around and judgment, and then you do a Rudolf Steiner and that's right, or you're not doing it correctly to page 24, paragraph 7, full stop 21. Though I do highly, but that's the Steinerites, the popsicles. Give people anything in writing and they twist it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they do. They lash. Oh, God. That's what I said. I put stuff I couldn't cope. I put the word to it eventually. I said, but it's thoughtful unkindness. Just thoughtful, Oh, no. People are really weird, hey? Yeah. Many things. Better. And There was just something that also is just kind of bubbling around here at the moment. It's going to come in, is that we are now being called to be mothers, or for them to be our mothers, but to be caretakers of the trees. Not everything. You go and find one that belongs to you. Maybe it's all of them, maybe it's just one. To be caretakers of the crystals, maybe it's just one crystal. And that's like it's mothering. So we need to like awaken our nurturing and our mothering instincts. Yeah. Yeah. For a lot of us in the older, slightly older, it was really kind of, we didn't know. Oh, thank you for so much love, Lindsay and Dale and Grace and Yolanda and Angela and everybody. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just reading Katie. She says, I can appreciate and hope best, yeah. Well, it's just to love them, give them a wide berth, do the holidays you have to, or don't. That can also open up a whole nother can of worms when you decide not to go to the holiday things. Yeah, it's such a beautiful offering, Lindsay, that you're allowing your children to, because you're allowing them to heal your sister. My sister beat my son almost to within half an inch of his life. She wasn't very kind. She's very different to me, chalk and cheese. She's really horrible, horrible. Thanks, Victor. Yeah. I'm going to go and have a very beautiful cry about my mother. So I never had a problem. I never had a problem with anything. I was always like gaga, innocent. I had too many seizures as a child, I think. But brilliant. But the obvious eludes me often. Yeah, I thought I might go into it now. Thoughtful unkindness. Oh, don't stress about it, Yolanda. Marry yourself. Nobody ever asked me to marry them my whole life. No, what's wrong with me? Nobody loves me. You have these women who keep have these men. It's like it is what it is, hey? And they do. It does affect the way that you see, because it's programmed. I mean, unfortunately the Eastern cultures are very, very unkind to people who aren't married, because marriage and children, and it's kind of the way to be. But it's also not for everybody. But a lot do join. I mean, in India, there's like many children that want to join a rock band in the States. So many kids want to join the monastery, want to become a Brahmin in India. It's very normal. Yeah, sometimes it's not about genetics, about the father, but it's still, why is it? My other astrology lady, my star lady, she said she just could not. It was one of her biggest questions for many years. Like, what is it about this mother-father-child bond thing that we have? If you look at the chart, they're horrible people. They're nasty and mean in some cases. And why do you still hanker after their love and their approval? You wouldn't do that if it was another person. This is something for you to maybe think about, or not, Karen, when you think of charts. She was very interested in doing family charts, like the children, the mother, like, 3 generations, and you'll see certain patterns. Yeah. She said to me at the time with my daughter's chart and mine, she said it was, we were just so amazing, because I remember she was about 16 or 17, and we'd had one of those mother-daughter arguments in the morning. And we got to school in South Africa, so those that come. Well, you have the same in America. And I said, you know what? You're going to school. I'm dropping you off here. Is this really, would this be the way that we'd like to remember each other? I said, anything can happen. You can have a crazy gunman come into your school today with an AK-47, and that could be the last of you. And I could be on my way home, and Dale will relate to this, going on Louis Botha Avenue, and I could be in a taxi pile-up, and that would be the last of me. Is this how we want to remember each other? Can't we just talk? And I never had another argument with her. It was just that moment in time that it just came deep from the heart. No. But it was so interesting. My star lady said to me, you have this amazing relationship, mother-daughter, but if it was reversed, it would be a nightmare, which unfortunately happened. Yeah. And you have to let her go too. Just cut, let go, let go, let go, cut. Just read about the goddesses. I'm going to do it. I'm not sure if I'll do it on Sunday because I'm just seeing so much in, I love to see this stuff. But hopefully I'll have time on Monday. I mean time as in my thing, my subscription, to go into the mother. Oh God, marriage was a lot of I'm in my 60s, so 50s, 60s, it was very different as well. Yeah. As it is programmable, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said about, in a way, in the old days, and with like arranged marriages, you make it work. It's like you repaired your clothing, you looked after them, you grew your vegetables. You didn't just at the first fight go and have a divorce. Obviously, there are boundaries and there are things that don't, and it doesn't work. Oh, your mum passed, Josh. Oh. We need to really heal this, because most of us, we don't have a relationship with the goddess. The closest that us in the West have is with the Mother Mary. If you had that, and if many didn't, it was also no pictures, nothing. Might as well be Muslim. Don't worship the Mother Mary. Mm. And it's about the mother, the mother, the mother, the mother. I mean, even Jesus, those were the last words that he said before whatever happened there. Those were the last words that he said on the cross. Behold thy mother. Yes, he was talking about his mother, but he was talking about the earth, the mother. That's my son doesn't talk to me, my other one, because I told him that being a Christian was a bit more than having tattoos of the Mother Mary on him. And he was rude to my mother and rude to me. Oh, Dale, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, an absolute pleasure. Oh, remember to have a beautiful, long talk with your mum. Take her flowers and ask her. And Mother's Day is coming up quite soon, isn't it? Don't we do it in May? So it might be a nice opening for some of you. Take her a photograph of you when you were a small child and a beautiful bunch of flowers. Yeah. And some, oh my goodness, some people have such the craziest, like families, They've got 2 moms and 3 dads and how many brothers and sisters. And that's all about to change because mom's going to get divorced again. It's very complicated stories, hey? But hey, it is what it is. Oh, Yolanda, that's the best kind of mother you can be. And they bring you presents. Hey, Novel, thank you for being here. I'm just reading here from Kay. And all this, we're not going to talk to you, or we don't talk about this. And I mean, British are the wonderful how they put everything under the rug. Meow. Oh, you're a fur grandmother. Fur grandmother. Cool, 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 cool. I did many years ago in the 80s. I'll show you here. I don't know if you anybody's familiar with the work of. I miss my mother, and the worst is that she's still alive, and she's not been. My sister's like wicked, but she does visit you. Yeah, my mom is in so much trauma, and it was so unnecessary. So no. And it is something like that. I couldn't. I mean, if I had to have my sister as her children don't talk to her much, and they won't have children. She was mean, very mean, very well. She was called Bully, and I was called Pinky. So, but she used to beat me up as a child. I mean, when I was like, I don't know, was I in school yet? 5 or 6. I know that I had 56 bruises on me from her. And then it's so weird. I blocked a lot of that out. I have photographic memory with so much. And then a little while ago, I started asking, what? But where was she? I mean, and then she went to boarding school. But she made life absolute hell for me, because if I went afterwards to a school she'd been, she had terrorized everybody. When she was in nursery school, kindergarten, she was like 3, and she would bite all the children to keep them in line. Not to be horrible, but she would want to she definitely had a past life in Germany. And she marched them all to the park out of the school. She was like 3 or something ridiculous. Yeah. She was very yeah. Yeah, so much pain, so much unnecessary unkindness. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to, if we need to fix it, because also that comes up a lot, is that we didn't come here to fix it, to fix the earth, to save the earth. Maybe we came to fix it, but we didn't come to save it. She can save herself. We need to bless her, and we need to give her the energy and the power and tell her how beautiful she is. We need to encourage her and give her all the encouragement that we would love to give, that we would love to have received as a child, or that we give our children, and nurture her and tell her how beautiful she is and how gorgeous her trees are. And she's all bedecked in jewels of trees and rocks, and the birds that are beautiful lace skimming over her. So yeah, that's what she needs from us, and that's she will respond in us. And so it's not going to be, it'll be after Navratri, but I will go through the aspects of the 9 aspects of the mother, because it's just so beautiful to relate to, make it your own, No. And that's fine, Josh. Sometimes it absolutely not, you can do it. You do it, Josh, you write it, but do try and write her a letter. And you will be very surprised sometimes what starts to come out when you start to write. You say, well, I didn't think I was so kind and sweet about her. And you are absolutely allowed to cry, Josh, especially while you eat quiche. Do you know there was that book, Real Men Eat Quiche? So you're allowed to cry. So have some tissues and let it out. Yeah. There's some are really blessed that they have, but we don't know. And in Sweden, for a long time, I know it's definitely over 15 years, about 12, 15 years ago, that they brought in a law that men who are pregnant, whose wives are pregnant, have to go to baby school. I think it's 2 months. It's like evening after work before they have the baby, so that they learn how to change nappies and hopefully to look after the mother a little bit, but to feed babies and to care for them and how to read to them and to take them to the park. I think it's absolutely wonderful. In the old days, we had the mothers, the old mothers, which would tell us how to have babies. Nobody's really telling us. We have these crazy books which like twist our heads. Yeah, so much hatred. Try not to get to hate. Just try and leave it as jealousy if you can. Hatred is really ugly. Jealousy is like just one. It's okay to disagree, And wouldn't the world be wonderful if everybody thought like us? But it's, yeah. Yeah, those family things can often become those whole like attack on one person. Hey, I don't like that. Well, that was the thing when I stopped going to Christmas, and my sister's mother-in-law, I said, no, I'm just really over this. She's just so rude and unkind, and I just over it. And mother-in-law said it, the things, but if I'm not there for Christmas, what are they going to talk about all year? At least I had to use, yeah. But yeah, she's like so weird. My mother had this. My mother, partly Jewish, but my mother didn't eat pork. She would eat bacon sometimes, but it had to be like so crisp. I think she must have seen so many maggots and things in pork, but she didn't want. And South African pork is not like clean German pork. And they went out for a grill out into the country. We went out with her. I did try. And my mother, and we met this beautiful place in the mountains, and they made a grill, and she prepared all this food, and they were very nice. Yeah, and she told my mother they were lamb spare ribs. And then after my mother had thoroughly enjoyed them and said they were absolutely delicious, she told her that they were pork, and see, she could eat pork. I mean, like, why? Like, where is just basic, simple respect to somebody like who doesn't want to drink, so that you then put alcohol in their food or something? That's the kind of thing my sister does. But that was just like, those are the suck. No. Yeah. I can hear you, Josh. Yeah. And sometimes you have to just say it's enough. With my mother, and I don't have a problem with my mother. I only have a problem with the fact that I spent a lot of money trying to help my mother, and I would go down to Cape Town every couple of weeks, and then my sister had me arrested and banned from going there. Well, she took all my mother's anyway, so she obviously. And when I got back to South Africa, back to Johannesburg, I just said, "What happens when you know too much?" Because I did. They gave her wrong operations. I mean, my sister's tried to kill my mother, finished in Clark, and she's like been suffering now for nearly 10 years with no treatment, which is it's not a big thing to have a stroke. And she just shouts at my mother. And she's a very deep Christian. So it really wobbled me on my whole faith on that. But when I came back to Johannesburg, it was like, then my son was having his drama. So, and he shouted at me so much that by then I was so, and I'm blind, remember, right? I'm like pretty blind. And I've got the people in the complex setting me up as well, because I had a bit of money, and they just want so set up, totally framed. So I ran off to my office house, and I just had this little carpet, and I stood there. I really stood there. I don't know how long. I think I stood there. I know I stood for about 3 days. Like survivors, can anybody hear me? Because like when you know too much, what's going to happen to you? Yeah. It's like crazy. And it's like stuff that's the shame of it that you don't, that's another part of your upbringing. There is a book, it's mainly for men. It's called Healing the Shame That Binds You. It's a very, very, very big part of it. For me, I was in so much horror that what had happened. So I'm really going to go and have a delicious cry. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Long overdue. But we go, all the things that there's an alcoholic, or there's been rape or abuse or divorce. In the old days was divorce. Or a child out of wedlock. I mean, that's for the West is terrible for a lot of people. No? The Africans, it's fine. It's not that they lose. It's just it would be better to be married. But these are things that we taught. We put so much shame upon ourselves, and we carry that shame of our bodies around with us, of our sensuality, of our feelings, of our sexuality. So yeah, I hear you so much, Yolanda. And in that, you have to let that, you have to forgive, because it's so weird. Long ago, I was here for about a year and a half, and I had to forgive my sister. Not for her, for myself. For myself. But yeah, I had lost my speech, so traumatized, I couldn't talk. And just such horror that this can't be happening. You've got to be careful. This is horror. Yeah. You have to really, guys, we have to write the stuff out. We have to let it go. We have to burn candles, and at the same time, huge healing with shame. Yeah. It's a great book. Maybe you can just get a audio copy or just look it up. Don't spend too long in it, but just let it go. It's a big one, and that's why we don't share it with people. I couldn't. Who can I tell? I can't talk to my friends here in Germany. They'll never believe what my sister's killing my mouse mother, and then everybody, those that kind of sort of knew, all came down on me that I hadn't done anything, guys. I spent way close to 2 million rand trying to get my mother up to Johannesburg. I lived next to an old age home, and my sister would block me every single turn. Every single turn. Getting my mother out of the hospital where she was, going to see her because nobody went to see her. My sister would just shout at her. They gave her the wrong operation, said she had an ulcer, and the mess, the pain that poor woman went through. I would go down in winter in Cape Town. It gets very cold. And my mother's freezing. My sister's a zillionaire, and she stays 5 minutes away from my mother. And she's got a lot of money, and she does all this good stuff with the church. And I don't know what she's got against my mother. My mother was, if anything, my sister got the better deal and everything. But hey, so lots and lots and lots of love and healing for all of us beautiful beings. Because remember, we all have a mother. So we all have some healing to do. And it hurts if we hold on to it, and it hurts if we let it go. Eh? We have to heal. We have to really heal. Yeah. It's horrible. And then the lies. Oh my God. When I didn't live in South Africa, Yolanda, the lies that were told, the stories. But you don't expect it from your nearest and your dearest. That's the real pain. When it comes from others that are a little strange in the head, or strange as well. But when it comes from those that you trust, it's very hard. So I think we've got lots of writing and a good bath. We've got a whole weekend to get through this. And the energies of purging are really out there. I'm sorry if I've rattled everybody's solar plexus and their hearts. And as Victor said, it doesn't matter how broken your heart is. Or when he said that today, I thought, oh God, shattered. You know, they are. I went through that a couple of years. Like, how many different hearts have I healed? You know, I've had like a broken heart and a cracked heart, you know, and I've got a rainbow heart and I've got a gold heart and I have an emerald heart and I have a diamond heart. I mean, there's just so much grace and beauty and love from the mother. But we need to connect with the mother. And if we've still got all this shit, it's so difficult. But put it aside and forget that you have problems with your mother and just put your head on the mother's lap. Just be, what's the word? Raw, it's not the word. Vulnerable. And just say, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to love you. I want to love you. I want to feel your love. And I don't know how to do it. Help me. You know, how's the best way that I can heal this pain that I carry with my mother? Where will I find it? Yeah, and we need to do it quickly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, absolutely, but I don't know how people go to sleep at night. I mean, I don't know. But you know what, Lindsay? I think no, you'd have a lot for yourself as well, because this is Josh, myself, lots of us. We have so much compassion and understanding and forgiveness for others, but do we take the 2 steps to do it for ourselves? Because the 1 step we don't want to take, but we have to take 2 steps to do it for ourselves. Because when you take the 1 step, it's no. It's like, I don't know, they've made us feel so like that we deserve this shit, you know, for whatever reason, for all the poop and the pain. And my sisters was just jealousy with me. I just like was always so. I never thought I'd have to ever go through this shit. My life was always a struggle, but I never saw it. I always just saw myself as the rich little poor girl, not the poor little rich girl. I was so abundant in blessings with art and not happiness as such, no, because I'd been like so ostracized as a child because I was so talented and so different. That was my biggest prayer when I had my daughter, that I didn't want her to be clever. I wanted her just to be normal, just to be average. Please, God, just let her be average. Just average. That she has friends and companionship, friends in her life, and that she's not ostracized at school. So absolutely, each situation is absolutely. We are holding up a mirror gently, Lindsay, and then coming back and taking care of ourselves. And that was so, but we're doing it's happening. I mean, Karen, you also, Karen, you saw it, and I see it quite often. When I walk past them, it's like, go back. Hey, you're really beautiful. And talk to yourself, you know. But I think we need to put a little pressure on it there, you know. And if you're lucky enough to be able to have some sound healing or some music healing or some massage therapy, otherwise we have to give it to ourselves, and that's absolutely fine as well. Yeah, we have hope by God's grace. We have a candle and we have incense and we have water. And if you're lucky enough, you have aromatherapy oils. And just do a wellness weekend for yourself. Really healing, lots of writing, big box of tissues. Yeah, to encourage our highest Lindsay expression in greatness, healing, and expansion. Lindsay, you are so right. And the more that we do it, because what's happening as well So that's why it will go quite quickly. But just to say this is what's coming up, is just allow that energy. There's just so much gold energy just to flush through you, because it's like giving your body a colonic, you know. So it's giving. That's why when I say I'm just loosening up that energy, that was so interesting. I mean, I kind of know it, but I didn't know it. I don't know who was saying it, but when we don't see a way out of things, we can't see our way clearly, a new pathway. We know that the brain makes new pathways, right? But very often what happens with trauma or whatever is that we block off those pathways and we actually cut them off in our brain, in those synapses, and they become calcified. So that there's this thought, and I can, for me it was huge, because this has been for me in June. Before I was younger and I had my stuff and I could do jewelry and I could do all sorts, whatever I could do. I taught English and I did like English babysitting and all sorts of baby English lessons and whatever I could do. But now Germany is not easy, huh? And being visually challenged, not speaking the language, not having my English stuff, having COVID, I can't make jewelry. It was just like, thank you, Victor. Thank you so much for being here for so long. I hope that you got something really magnificent out of it. But remember, we all have another. I stopped riots in South Africa. I stopped them killing them, because I spoke to some of my worker. I said, because he was like really proud. He was a Zulu, and we have all these very xenophobic faction fights, just like over the mountain, over the hill. And I said to her, I said, but that's not fun. That's not nice. I said, you must remember, everybody's got a mother. What would your mother say if that happened to you? And you know, he went and they talked because he was caught up. Everybody's so you stop. It's like that peace. Because hey, shit, guys, everybody's got a mother. Thank you so much, Victor, for so much. Yeah. And yeah, stars can't shine without darkness. They can't. And the dark, yeah, and we need the darkness. Stars shining all the time. The sun shining. Yeah. So reflections and healings and tenderness. So yeah, that was very interesting with the thought patterns. Because we know that we can create new thought patterns, but this was actually working in reverse, where you're actually in a situation where you just, and I never thought I've always seen my way out of a situation. Like, oh, it might be something really crazy, but that's why I can do what I do. But yeah, but I'm still standing and kicking. But that's why the vibration is actually loosening up the calcification around the nerve endings and within the chakras, so that it's. I was talking about it, now I've forgotten what it was called. Ultrasonic. That came out quite a while ago, but that's just vibration. And if you're near an ultrasonic and you have those old fillings, they'll like hurt your teeth. But that's just vibration. And it was my optician had it first. That was the first time I saw it at an optician's. And the glasses and the metal work and all of that, because it just goes into water, so there's no break, just water, and then that vibration. And you clean jewelry in it, and it sparkles like nothing before. And then my crystal people had it and would clean their crystals in it, but not big ones, but little ones. And I wanted to get them to clean my crystals in it, because it just makes them sparkle upon sparkle upon sparkle. And that's vibration. So that's what the vibration is doing to this like blocked up energy, this calcified stuff around our everything. Because remember, we've got crystals all over our body. Okay, my lovelies. So many little sunshine on you, crazy diamond. Thank you, all of us beautiful crazy diamonds. Eat diamonds for breakfast and shine all day long. Let me just see if I got it. I got it. If anybody knows the work, and of course we had to have a little Ganesha. He's got an interesting story. And does anybody know this work? It's the work of Sulamit Wulfing. She saved me. The pictures of her angel children. I might post them on my thingy. Oh, she's not supposed to be there. Very, very, very special. She drew these beings. Let's Google her work. Did I? Oh God, I just did that. Oh, heck, I'm so sorry. Oh no, you see, that's what I do. Are we back again? I nearly locked us out because I don't see properly. Sulamit Wulfing, she, before the war, her parents lived in, they were anthroposophists, and they removed themselves from society, and they basically lived in a forest, and they just had a few like really interesting friends around. But she had no children around her for the first like 5 or 7 years of her life, and she lived in this forest with nature, and she would talk to the trees and the animals and the angels there. She drew all these incredible angels, and the dwarfs and not that many fairies, but the flowers, the trees would talk to her, angels and these little children. And she never used it. These are just the images that she saw, the beings that she saw. And I think she was 5 or 7 when she first saw another child. And she was just so happy that there were other little people in the world. But she was basically a recluse, and she drew and drew. Her son actually put her work out after she died. But yeah, her work is just, you can just spend, and with all the Celtic knot work and all the adoration and the embellishment. So if you want to see what higher beings and angels really look like and how they dressed, you can look at the work of Sulamit Wulfing. I don't know if anybody knows. He put her work, I could be wrong how I spell it. Sulamit, one of those funny Germans. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure how you spell it. And then it's with that double, the U with a double. Sulamit Wulfing. And then she illustrated some books and things, but then son had kind of had her work made into artworks and books and postcards and things like that. She also had some beautiful cards. Yeah. But yeah, have a look at some of her art to be beautifully inspired. And with, as I say, how the angels are adorned. And she did go to art college, but still these beings that she drew are just from what she saw. Just not from, she didn't have a love model standing in front of her. She just drew. So how are we all doing? Fish swim. They called salmon. Yeah. So we can go and detox from the parasites, the two-legged ones and the many-legged ones and the swimming ones in our brain and in our body. Detoxing from parasites will definitely help as well, however you do it. Yeah, just have a look. It's go and if you can go on to Google and Google her work. I must probably go and have a look and have a good cry because they're just so beautiful. You want to just cry. Yeah, her stuff is very, 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 very beautiful. So beautiful fishes and little crabs and little tender cancers. And our magical fish. Let's see all this stuff. There's lots of fish around here. Lots of Piscean energy. I don't know if many of us have got much in Aquarius or Uranus. I mean, it's always aspected some way. But flush the bugs on all levels. And it's yeah. There's another Cancer. So I see a lot of Cancer. Josh is also Cancer. I have my Mars in Cancer, which is very confusing for me. Fire in the water, smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Yeah, that's what it does when it's dusty. So we're going to end the stream so that the little fishes can So we've got lots of forgiving. I'm glad in a way that I don't have a big family, but the little bit that I have, it really got compounded. Yeah. Yeah. Screenshotting is fun. Yolanda, if you're really smart, it doesn't take much brain cell. Can't you go onto internet? Can't you go onto Google? Because you can. Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have much. But what I have is very powerful. No. But screenshotting is fine. You can go into some photo app and then cut them up. Or if you take them on your phone, it's nicer, then you can do that adjusting right away. Yeah. Oh, her work is beautiful. I'll pop some of it up on my thingy soon. Okay, my lovelies, we are all survivors. Yeah, it's good sometimes to read about people's crazy lives as well, and then you think, oh well, mine wasn't so bad. Yeah. So, my lovelies, we will see you quickly. There won't be a show on Saturday because PG is busy, and Chloe's doing crystals because we usually just go on straight after Truth Wave. So we'll all head over to Chloe and get some crystal magic that side. So I won't have a show on Saturday, but I will do a quick live tomorrow and a quick cleaning. Yeah. Oh, well, that's perfect, Yolanda. Then you can take all those. You can take photos with your phone, and then you can edit them. Did you get her name there? And then I'm sure it'll take you on to other people. Take care. Oh, thank you, my beautiful one. We know you're going next week, so we'll still see you for a while. So I wish you namaste and feel well and go with a beautiful Saint Christopher, who carries this little child. Bless us all. May we get through this with love and lots of love and ease and grace and care. Our crazy little Western flair. Bless you, my beautiful brothers and sisters, my beautiful, wonderful family. Thank you for sharing space. Thank you for sharing your heart and allowing me to open my heart and share it with you. So I love you lots, and May the healing be with us and the force, but lots of healing. And may you just surrender into the loving embrace and the arms of the mother, and have the most magnificent, tender, kind, sweet dreams. And don't forget to breathe in all this amazing gold. So, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Bye.